Hi guys, so this is a review of the Lowa Renegade GTX. So they're my main hikers. They've got a standard sort of classic hiking boot lacing system with the heel hook or heel locking hook set back there, and then two more sort of quick lace bits. So it's a mid-height standard hiking boot size. They've got kind of nubuck leather and suede panels on it, so it's not like the most robust, like a full grain leather heavy boot, but at the same time it's not just textile, so it's got a fair amount of waterproofing. It's got the Gore-Tex obviously, but it's also got a bit of breathability and stuff, and not full grain leather. And at the sides there's the monowrap system, I think Lowa call it, which is just a bit of stability. The rubber comes up on the side of your foot. Quite thick soles, bit of cushioning, good sort of all-rounder boots really, which is what they're advertised as. They're not supposed to be a heavy kind of mountain boot, but they're a bit more than a cheap kind of dog walking boot. So they're good for a bit of everything. The sole again is like a multi-terrain sole, so it does get clogged up with mud a bit, but it can handle a bit of mud. It's not too uncomfortable if you go on the occasional country road, bit of pavement, but it can go up a mountain as well. I have been up mountains in them. So they do a bit of everything. The sole isn't that stiff, so if you are going up mountains you're going to struggle a bit toeing off on things. I mean, you can do it if you've got strong enough feet, but they're not the most supportive boot. So you can see here, like, they fold quite a bit there. They spring up again, they give you a bit of support, but it doesn't have a strong shank in the sole like a proper mountain boot. Again, it's a multi-terrain, multi-use boot, and it's comfy for long distance. But that fold, it does, at first when you're breaking them in, for me at least, it dug into my foot. So every time it folded, it was poking my foot, especially on the right foot for some reason. So it did cause a bit of pain for a while until it broke in. Apart from that, they're really, really comfy out of the box, but that's something that you have to take into account. A lot of the other reviews say it's just super comfy out of the box. Well, not necessarily, because of that fold. There is a lot of panels on it, a lot of stitching, so like I say, that's going to reduce the waterproofness of it. But I still think it's better to be leather rather than textile, because you can wax it and then it will be more water repellent. Although it's not going to be as waterproof as a one-piece leather, still, you can keep it waxed up, treat the leather, keep it healthy, and it will repel the water, and the Gore-Tex lining will only have to work when it's really soaked through, because Gore-Tex eventually will become less and less waterproof as the years go on. There's a little sort of loop on the tongue there, and this material here is not like really tough Cordura. It's kind of floppy and it's not that strong. It's a bit water repellent. The Gore-Tex inside, you can see where it finishes, so I've been up to my ankles in water and it's been fine, but a little bit higher than that and it's going to come through a bit quicker. Sizing wise, they're in the UK they're just sold as they are. In other countries I've seen them advertised as like wide, medium, narrow, so I assume these are just medium. And they're fairly wide. I got size 8.5. I'm normally about 8 on average. Gave me a bit of extra toe space, which I was quite happy about when I was doing a 1800 meter descent in Peru. But it's not necessary all the time. Like I say, I've gone up half a size and I've got plenty of space in the toe box. At, I assume, a medium width. I do have to lace them up quite tight for them to fit me. Like if I leave them loose, they're just rattling around. So they're probably a tad wide for me, but if I tighten them up, they're okay. So the toe box, it doesn't look wide, but there's quite a lot of space in there. It is actually quite a spacious toe box. If you read the reviews on these boots, they all, mostly of them anyway, they say that. So yeah, they're quite a spacious boot. If you've got very narrow feet, they might not be for you, unless you can find the narrow sizing, which in the UK doesn't seem to be that common. So for my feet, they hold me in place nicely if I lace them up tightly, and they have extra space for going downhill. So just for comparison, these are size 8, Euro 42, says 260 inside them, so 260 millimeters I suppose. They're quite tight fitting on me, just about perfect. I train in them because they don't have much support and they're flat, so they sort of build a bit of strength in your feet and keep you close to the ground when you're training in the gym or whatever. But they're Chinese shoes, so they come up a bit small, so they're quite a small UK 8 or Euro 42. So in comparison to these are quite a bit more spacious. So that's the Lowa Renegade Gore-Tex, a good all-round boot for countryside walking, the occasional trips to, Lake District or something like that, going up a few mountains, as long as it's nothing too serious. Not really a winter mountain boot. I use them on my 4/5 day trek in Peru, so they're good for long distance because of the comfort levels, and if they're fairly new and you keep them treated, they're going to be waterproof. So a good all-rounder. If you have any other questions, just put them in the comments below and I'll try and answer them when I can. I tried not to do just another review the same as all the others, because these boots have been reviewed to death. You can get all the specs off the website or other reviews. There's no point me going over all that again. Just to give you my impression after like a year and a half maybe or something like that of quite heavy use. Just another thing to say, sorry I didn't say about the insoles I use with these gel and foam kind of Dr. Scholl inserts, but underneath them I did get these space reducers which came with them. They were chucked in free when I bought them from Cotswolds. Doesn't mean to say the boots don't fit if you need these, it just gives a little bit more of a kind of custom fit. They're a bit pointy, so they fit in anything, but that doesn't affect it. It just takes up a little bit of space in the boot, so you can kind of customize the fit slightly to get a bit more of a fitted boot. You can always take them out if your feet swell when you're walking. Gives you a bit to play around with. The insoles that it actually came with are your standard kind of cheap insoles. Boots always come with the worst insoles. They're breathable, but they're just not very cushioned. So just to make that last point. Thanks for watching, and hopefully some more reviews to come soon. And our next walking video will be our 3-day hike in Cantabria in northern Spain.